Hey man, we back. Y'all see what's going on? We got you can't cancel Eminem, the five epic fails. So like I'm Gen Z, born 1998. Recently, I know they just tried to cancel Eminem because of the Meg The Stallion Houdini song. So shoot, let's get into it, man.
There are many groups that Eminem is quite despicable toward.
Lyrics from Eminem are from an album which is currently at #3 on the Billboard chart.
Eminem album about the Eminem album.
There's nothing funnier than seeing Gen Z stumble upon an Eminem song and trying to cancel and boycott him on social media. What they don't realize is that canceling Eminem is impossible. Do you know why? Because in the early 2000s, he already faced some of the most intense cancellation campaigns in history.
Hey, for sure. Hey, if you know anything about Eminem, you know he controversy, man. But hey, he's still standing strong. I think he's still the number one, like top selling hip hop artist of all time. So shit, you feel me?
Was banned from stores, TV shows, and even became a topic of discussion in the U.S. Senate. Do you really think you can cancel him from your cave behind a screen and a keyboard? So today, we'll take a look back at the 5 most serious cancellation attempts that Eminem faced in the early 2000s.
Hey, that's legendary, man. To make it to the fucking Senate to be talked about, that's crazy. The fucking government saying, hey, man, we need to watch this dude. That's crazy. That shit will do nothing but propel you to your fame, man. It just gives you the attention. So, goddamn. Like I said, Eminem is still in the GOAT conversation, so these cancellation attempts will never... It won't work, man, at all.
Part of the new millennium, Eminem had already risen to fame with his first album, the Slim Shady LP, and he was already surrounded by controversy due to songs like 97 Bonnie and Clyde and Guilty Conscience. However, it was the Marshall Mathers LP that truly offended certain groups, and by the end of 2000, attempts to cancel Eminem began. The first protests against Eminem that garnered media attention occurred on September 7, 2000, during the MTV VMA 2000 ceremony. Before the event, an activist group for gays and lesbians organized a protest against Eminem outside the Radio City Music Hall, where the ceremony was scheduled to take place. This group directly aimed to prevent Eminem from appearing at the gala.
Eminem has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Eminem has got to go, hey, hey.
I just noticed the AI Eminem. This shit weird. Them motherfuckers look weird. Them motherfuckers look like Elvis Presley. Hell nah.
Eminem has got to go. 2468. MTV promotes hate. 2468. MTV promotes hate.
We are here because Eminem's current lyrics on his Marshall Mathers LP really strongly suggests that young listening audience should go out and express their emotions through violence often aimed at the gay and lesbian community.
However, Eminem ended up being the big winner of the night, delivering an iconic performance and winning 3 awards. But my friends, this was just the beginning. The real juicy stuff came later.
Hey, I was just about to say, wait. Cause like he ended up doing some ended up performing one of his songs with Elton John eventually, right? To try to mediate that. So that's kind of cool, I guess. But I don't know, man. But Eminem is wild as fuck for them lyrics, dog.
The YouTube channel, but
Man, fuck these ass, nigga. Hey, ho, ho. All these asses got to go. Hey, but I got ass too, so hey, I can't complain.
A year earlier, in 1999, after the Columbine massacre, the then President Bill Clinton, yes, the one who received a surprise saxophone solo in the Oval Office, the one who spent his time bombing half the world, gave a speech where, among other things, he talked about the influence of video games, movies, and music from certain artists on children.
And we do know we have to do more to recognize the early warning signs that are sent before children act violently.
All eyes turned to Marilyn Manson, and to a lesser extent, Eminem.
Represents in some ways the rap music, what I do with rock.
He was catching a lot of heat at the time.
So I figured I would maybe take some off him and bring it on me.
Things escalated further on September 13, 2000, when a group of politicians, activists, religious figures, concerned parents, and other crappy collectives held a session in the Senate to discuss marketing violence targeted at children. And as you can imagine, one of the main points of discussion was the biggest star of the time, Eminem.
Now in the room, we have some easels that show some examples of this music. Now this stuff is not for the faint-hearted, but the music industry has decided it's for children. Nor are these obscure songs. The lyrics from Eminem are from an album which is currently at number 3 on the Billboard chart after spending 2 months this summer at number 1. He received 3 awards from MTV last week.
Meanwhile, this adorable...
Yeah, that is crazy. Those some wild ass lyrics, man. But you remember, like this around the time, you know, they had like Grand Theft Auto, Mortal Kombat, all types of shit. They got trying to blame all of the entertainment itself on the violence. You feel me? On the actual violence, instead of, I see the complete opposite. As an artist, I see the music and the art itself as an expression of the environment that's already happening. You feel me? So in order for us to create the art, we have to experience the art. We're not creating the art itself. Like, we have to experience, and you have to observe the art. Like, you have to observe the laws of gravity. You have to observe physics. You have to observe numbers. You don't discover and you don't create things as human beings. We're the mediums. So we have a bunch of politicians and non-artists attempting to tell artists about the music that we're making. In reality, a lot of the art itself is just therapy. And I said this in one of my last reaction videos about Juice WRLD. Like, Juice WRLD and a lot of his music, it's tough to try to listen to his music now because he really was screaming out for help in a lot of his songs. So, like I said, the songs are a reflection of the reality. It's not us trying to manipulate the reality. So if someone's making violent music, or they're making a certain caliber of explicit music, it's because they're trying to tell you something. You feel me? Stop just taking it for the surface level. Understand, listen to music with mindfulness, and listen. If you're the audience, listen like a therapist. Just listen to the artist, but don't attach onto any of the emotions or the spirits, because that's not your emotions. Don't try to attach that into somebody else, man. That's weird, dog. But I know I went on a little tangent, but you feel me? Had to get that off my chest.
Old lady you see here was the one who put the most emphasis on Eminem. Her name is Lynn Cheney, and you might recognize her from songs like White America or Without Me.
Yeah.
These were some of the words the granny uttered about Eminem in the Senate.
I have lately been very disturbed by the lyrics of the rap singer Eminem. They could not be more despicable. They could not be more hateful in their attitudes toward women in particular. There are many groups that Eminem is quite despicable toward, but he is a violent misogynist. It is despicable. It is awful.
Put yourself through the torture of listening to this?
I actually listened to it, and I will give Eminem this credit. You can understand every word he says. Many rock singers and rappers you can't understand. This is absolutely clear. I decided that since the lyrics were so hateful to women, what I would do is write the 2 women members of the board of Seagram. Seagram owns Interscope. Interscope distributes and produces Eminem's records. Eminem received 3 awards from the entertainment industry last week, including Best Male Performer at the MTV Awards. Can you imagine that the entire industry honors this man whose work is so hateful?
Just a few months after this intervention, this grandma became the second lady of America, as she was the wife of Vice President Dick Cheney.
Artistic expression and freedom of speech only can go so far before you have Miss Cheney knocking at your back door.
After all of this,
That's weird. You feel me? Like, of course, I don't necessarily agree with all Eminem lyrics. You feel me? I know that shit weird. But at the exact same time, they are only lyrics. Like, you are literally the second lady of the United States. You feel me? You feel me? You are literally out here killing and bombing innocent civilians and children and shit. Like, you feel me? You can play the role of being a hero, but You feel me? Like I said, Eminem, that's just lyrics. Eminem ain't literally never killed nobody. Like I said, it's a representation of the atmosphere and the environment that's actually going on, caused by y'all motherfuckers. You feel me? So they get to sit back and pretend to be the good guy. Yeah, I don't like that.
After all of this, M was probably thinking that things couldn't get any worse, but he was wrong. In October of that same year, the Anger Management Tour was created, a tour that took Eminem, Papa Roach, Limp Bizkit, and more artists to cities across North America and Europe. On the 26th and 27th of that same month, the tour visited the Canadian cities of Toronto and Montreal. And you know what? More problems arose. Earlier in the month, Canadian activist Valerie Smith filed a complaint against Eminem with the Hate Crimes Police Department, stating that his lyrics were considered hate speech under Canadian law. The matter ended up in the hands of the Attorney General, and if they concluded that the complainant was right, Eminem would end up in jail if he performed the concert.
Damn.
A few days later, Attorney General Jim Flaherty stated that Eminem should be banned from entering Canada due to his violent lyrics against women, and that they were considering ways to prevent his entry. He even called immigration to prevent Eminem from crossing the border. Meanwhile, the opposition party, being even more cheeky, said that they should let him perform so he could break the law, and then they could jail him.
It's time for the Attorney General to investigate and, if necessary, prevent Eminem's concert. Well, these lyrics suggest that violence against women is cool.
Basically, they were saying that if he performed Kill You, he'd be headed straight for jail.
Got a censorship issue about Eminem, so I ain't worried about him doing I'll Kill You. I told him, yeah, do it twice tonight.
Finally, they couldn't prevent Eminem from entering the country, although it was a close call. The first concert was on the night of the 26th, and Eminem arrived just a few hours before. You're probably wondering, what songs did Marshall sing? Well, I'm Back, Kill You, Under the Influence, and Sit on You, all in a row. And as if that wasn't enough, he dedicated some beautiful words to Valerie.
Toronto, how many people here tonight are sick of motherfuckers talking shit about me? I'm so fucking sick of every critic and every motherfucking journalist talking shit about my music. They told me that if I perform Kill You tonight, that they was gonna lock me up. Guess what? I already performed it.
And it's kind of like when the NWO, I mean, god damn, I'm a wrestling fan. I want to say Hulk Hogan, but NWA, man, and Ice Cube, they performed that shit. That's crazy, NWO. But hey, man, that shit wild though. That's crazy, man. They get locked up, almost locked up for that shit.
I dedicate this next motherfucking song to that bitch Valerie Smith.
But Eminem is tripping though. You feel me? Eminem is wild and like a motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie to them lyrics.
It's the end of the year 2000. M took stock.
Well, if you wanted to change anything from the year 2000, what would you change?
I could change something from the year 2000. I don't think I'd change a thing. I think everything fell into place right as it should. The good and the bad, you know. Maybe some things in my personal life I would have changed, you know, my little legal problems back home, which I can't really discuss, but maybe that. But other than that, everything else fell right into place. Everybody who I thought I was going to piss off with this album, I pissed off. Everything everything went according to plan, I guess you could say.
But what happened in 2001? Well, it came just like 2000 had gone. In February, Eminem had to continue with the tour, this time across Europe, and the United Kingdom was the final stop, and the one that gave him the most trouble. To start with, the police were being finicky and told him he could bring his chainsaw on stage, but couldn't turn it on, and if he did, he'd go to jail.
If, for example, in Manchester and London, they're saying that if you come on stage with your chainsaw going and the power's on, they're going to stop you. I mean, what do you think about that?
Oh my God. You know what? They should be so happy that I'm here to give them something to do.
You have a chainsaw, with the chainsaw's going, or you take ecstasy, or you drink, or you say the F word, or stick up your middle finger.
Every generation, it seems like it's one artist is always in this role. You feel me? It's like a multiverse of menaces. You feel me? Of hip hop. You feel me? It's weird. Like, you keep seeing the same shit happening over and over again. Like, similar, like I said a few minutes ago with the NWA getting shut down. Then you got like Eminem getting banned from the UK and shit. And I remember like Tyler the Creator was getting banned, and like like I said, it's just the same things keep happening over and over and over again. So I'm glad I keep going back to these videos, man. So it just puts everything in perspective.
Or move the crowd, or do any type of show at all, then we will arrest you. Because we are tough London cops. Tough Manchester cops.
And to continue, the press spent 24 hours a day creating more controversy.
Tomorrow night, 20,000 Eminem fans will rush up these rain-soaked Manchester steps to see the controversial US rapper take to the stage. But what role has he been cast in? Hero or villain?
Meanwhile, the gay protesters, or whatever this thing was, kept doing their thing. And if that wasn't enough, M had the brilliant idea of completely disregarding everything and perform.
That's it. It's that Joker type of role. That's it. Like, he's the villain role, that Joker role. That's it. That's the title. That's what I was trying to explain.
Skit he always did before singing Purple Pills. That's when the cops grabbed him by the balls, and they spent hours reviewing the recordings trying to catch him.
Just when you see the light at the end of the tunnel, the tour is coming to an end, it's not, and now we're going to jail.
I thought that was DJ Vlad. Boy, boy, you sound just like DJ Vlad, dog.
A precaution, if you like. We've taken possession of that, and we're studying the video to see if there are any offences that may have been committed.
Well, tonight we can't perform any songs because we can't talk about drugs. So, have a nice night. We're sorry. There'll be no ticket refunds. Tear the stadium up, and it's not my problem.
And as an epic final point, after all of this, the Grammy Awards came around, and I suppose many of you already know what happened. With the awards just around the corner, the gay and lesbian activist group organized another protest outside the Staples Center.
We're here to say, for all the social justice organizations that try to make the world a safe place, that this is not art.
Yeah, this gotta be Eminem. I didn't see the say random hole. Damn. Yeah, Eminem fan had to make this video, dog. Y'all niggas wild, boy.
This is hate speech.
They even paid to put this ad on TV during the ceremony.
The next time you use words like these, think about what they really mean.
That's when Eminem decided to strike back once and for all.
I do have a little surprise in store at the Grammys that
for Elton John. That's the one he did with Elton John. Yeah.
He enlisted one of the most important gay artists in history, Elton John, and ended his performance by hugging Elton and flipping everyone else off. At this gala, M took home 3 Grammys, and we could see the tension he was under before giving his first speech. The next day, all the newspapers and TV news shows had a slot to talk about the issue. I think you know how all these attempts to cancel Eminem ended, right? Well, if you don't, I'll tell you. 2 decades have passed, and Eminem is no longer just a star. He's a legend. Don't forget to
Hey, I was just about to say the same thing, man. Hey, man. I know I was stumbling a little bit. But, hey, I need something to drink because my mouth kind of dry. But, hey, appreciate y'all. If y'all stayed the entire video, comment down below what y'all want to see next. See y'all in the next one, man.